He couldn't speak fluently until the age of 7. A teacher once told his father he would never amount to anything. Yet this same boy would grow up to rewrite our understanding of time, space, and the universe itself. He would receive a letter inviting him to become the president of Israel, and turn it down. He would become the most recognizable scientist in human history, his name a global synonym for genius. This is the story of Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein was born on March 14, 1879, in the German city of Ulm, into a middle-class Jewish family. His father, Hermann, ran an electrical equipment business, while his mother, Pauline, nurtured young Albert's love of music, especially the violin, an instrument he would play for the rest of his life. As a child, Einstein was unusually quiet. He didn't begin speaking in full sentences until later than most children, leading some relatives to worry something was wrong, but his mind was already moving in directions no one else could see. At age 5, while sick in bed, his father gave him a pocket compass. Watching the needle always point north, no matter how he turned it, Einstein later said it gave him a feeling that something deeply hidden had to be behind things. That moment of wonder never left him. School was not kind to young Einstein. The rigid, authoritarian teaching style of German schools clashed with his independent, questioning mind. He disliked memorization and rote learning, preferring to understand the why behind everything. Some teachers found him disruptive. One reportedly said he would never amount to much. But outside the classroom, Einstein was teaching himself. By the age of 12, he had taught himself Euclidean geometry from a textbook, an experience he later called his holy little geometry book. He devoured science and philosophy texts borrowed from a family friend. While his grades in subjects like languages were unremarkable, his grasp of mathematics and physics was already exceeding that of his teachers. At 16, he failed the entrance exam to a Swiss polytechnic school on his first attempt, except in mathematics and physics, where he scored exceptionally high. He would not let that setback stop him. After eventually graduating from the Swiss Federal Polytechnic in Zurich in 1900, Einstein struggled to find an academic position. For 2 years, he worked odd jobs as a tutor before finally landing a position in 1902 as a technical examiner at the Swiss Patent Office in Bern. It seemed like an unremarkable job for an unremarkable young man, but Einstein's true work happened in his spare time. In 1905, a year now famously called his Annus Mirabilis, or Miracle Year, he published 4 groundbreaking papers that would transform physics forever. One explained the photoelectric effect, work that would later win him the Nobel Prize. Another provided definitive evidence for the existence of atoms. A third introduced the special theory of relativity, forever linking space and time. And the fourth gave the world the most famous equation in scientific history, E equals mc squared, revealing that energy and mass are, in fact, the same thing, just in different forms. He achieved all of this without a university laboratory, without prestigious colleagues, working as a patent clerk in his off hours. He was 26 years old. Special relativity was only the beginning. For the next decade, Einstein worked toward an even bigger idea, General Relativity, published in 1915. This theory proposed something radical, that gravity itself is not a force pulling objects together, but a curve in the very fabric of space and time, caused by mass. It was a beautiful idea, but it needed proof. That proof came in 1919 during a total solar eclipse. Scientists observed that starlight passing near the sun bent exactly as Einstein's equations predicted. Newspapers around the world erupted with the news. Almost overnight, the once unknown patent clerk became a global celebrity. He wasn't just a physicist anymore. He was a symbol of human genius itself. In 1921, Einstein was awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics. Interestingly, it was not for relativity, which remained controversial and difficult to confirm at the time, but for his explanation of the photoelectric effect, the same 1905 paper that helped lay the foundation for quantum mechanics. By now, Einstein was no longer just a scientist. He was a worldwide phenomenon. He traveled the globe, meeting world leaders, giving lectures, and becoming, quite literally, the face of modern science. but fame could not protect him from history. As the Nazi Party rose to power in Germany during the early 1930s, Einstein, a Jewish public figure and outspoken pacifist, became a target. His theories were denounced as Jewish physics, his property seized, and a price was even put on his head. In 1933, while visiting the United States, Einstein learned it was no longer safe to return home. He chose exile, accepting a position at the newly formed Institute for Advanced Study in Princeton, New Jersey. He would never set foot in Germany again. America became not just his refuge, but his home for the rest of his life. In 1939, alarmed by Nazi Germany's nuclear research, Einstein co-signed a letter to President Franklin D. Roosevelt, warning that nuclear chain reactions could potentially be used to build an extremely powerful bomb. That letter helped spur the United States into launching the Manhattan Project. Einstein himself never worked directly on the atomic bomb, and he was haunted by its eventual use. In the years that followed, he became one of the most vocal advocates for nuclear disarmament and world peace, famously saying that if he had known the Germans would not succeed in building one, he would have done nothing. In his later years at Princeton, Einstein continued searching for a unified field theory, one set of equations to explain all the forces of the universe, a goal physicists still pursue today. He also became an outspoken supporter of civil rights, befriending activists like Paul Robeson and W.E.B. Du Bois, and publicly condemning racism in America as a disease. In 1952, he was even offered the position of President of Israel. He declined, saying he lacked the necessary skills to deal with people and perform official functions. Albert Einstein died on April 18, 1955, at the age of 76, working on equations until nearly his final hours. But his ideas never stopped working. The GPS in your phone corrects for time dilation predicted by his relativity. Telescopes have photographed black holes and gravitational waves, phenomena his equations predicted over a century in advance. He once said, "Imagination is more important than knowledge." Perhaps that's the real secret of his story, not just a brilliant mind, but a boundless curiosity that refused to accept the world at face value. From a quiet, struggling student to the man who reshaped our understanding of the universe, Albert Einstein proved that genius doesn't always look the way we expect. If you enjoyed this story, follow along as we explore the lives of more world-changing minds. Thanks for watching.